A huge field, as you can see. And they will space themselves out, though, as this race goes on. Look for it to be somewhere around 23 minutes for the winner. Beautiful setting for some cross-country racing, and the conditions are certainly going to be a factor. We will watch that. You saw just how wet it was on yesterday's conditions, and well, it's a lot better today, obviously. As you can see, the course has dried out nicely. The wind came, which certainly helped as well. Peter Seufer is going to be tough to knock off. FACIONI could do it, NUGUSE, KNEVELBAARD as well. We talked a little bit about KNEVELBAARD, but he's a two-time first-team All-American from Florida State. Two-time ACC Runner of the Week, and so he obviously was not part of this race last season, coming out of Southern Utah and transferring over after his grad season. He has beaten Peter Seufer head-to-head twice already this season, so something to keep in mind as this race gets further and further along. 5 teams most likely capable of winning. Notre Dame and NC State are going to be right there towards the end. Florida State could steal an individual championship, of course, with the Kasey KNEVELBAARD. The interesting thing, though, will be Virginia Tech, as now Virginia Tech was doing quite well, now in second. Notre Dame just barely edging them out at the 1.6K mark. It certainly has been so far. Seufer increasing his lead as we get further and further down the course. Pretty big between him and Yared NUGUSE. NUGUSE, the NCAA indoor track and field gold medalist, is a member of the Irish's distance medley relay team, and outdoor gold medalist in the 1500, so you know that he'll have a kick towards the end. The only question is, how much room can Peter Seufer open up here for Virginia Tech as he looks to repeat? But at this point, it is Peter Seufer's to lose. We're getting towards the midway point. The next split coming up at 2.5 miles or the 4K, so of course, once you get to the 4K, you are halfway through an 8-kilometer race. Plenty of home faithful cheering on Peter Seufer here as he looks to repeat as ACC cross-country champion. So here's the halfway point, and you can hear some chants of "Come on, Peter." Everybody looking for him to potentially repeat. This is the best opportunity he's going to have, of course, being on his home course.
Shut us down, fans! Shut us down!
Whether or not Virginia Tech is going to have a chance at the team championship, that is all to be said and done coming up, but Seufer looks very good for a potential ACC individual championship. So Seufer out to an 11-second lead at this point over NUGUSE halfway home. KNEVELBAARD, you see an 11th right now with a time of 12:31 in the split halfway through the race. Seufer, NUGUSE, and then SHANKLIN for NC State. It was kind of not a dark horse, but maybe not one of the favorites. Coming in third, Virginia Tech still holding on at this point. Notre Dame in second, Syracuse in third with a very strong showing so far. KNEVELBAARD Seminoles in sixth at the moment. Well, a lot of that can change as well. Peter Seufer looking to repeat as ACC champion. Can he hold on?
I think that's the sport of cross country, is how the conditions are. It's a tough sport, and if you're a good cross country runner, you're good at running in any conditions. And you know, not every race is going to be a track and flat and fast. So I think a hard course, hard conditions, it kind of just weeds out who's more aggressive mentally and who's more ready for a true cross country race. And I think it's maybe a challenging aspect, but a fun aspect for everyone to kind of go out there and race a real cross country race.
Well, it certainly is, with it being so wet out there. You saw multiple puddles that our leader Peter Seufer had to run past, and at this moment it looks like it is his race to lose, trying to repeat the defending champion, and of course being here at home, wearing that VT for Virginia Tech. And he is showing why. We thought this would be a very tight race between Seufer, NUGUSE in second, Ian Shanklin for NC State coming up in third at the moment, and then a pack of others, but it is absolutely Seufer's to lose. And maybe this one a bit of a surprise that Yared NUGUSE hasn't put up a little bit more of a fight. Two-time champion, we mentioned last year. Remember the distance medley relay team for Notre Dame that won gold, as well as in the 1500 meter in the outdoor season. Ian Shanklin with the 7th place finish in the ACC championships last season, but that is nothing compared to Peter Seufer at the moment.
Come on,
there's
Diego.
no one else to beat.
You're gonna win this race. You're gonna win this race. Let's go. Come on, Jack. Jack, hang on to him, bro. Hang on to him, Jack. Come on. Push there.
Seufer pushing. We'll have one more split coming up at the 6K, and there it is. A 32-second lead for Seufer over NUGUSE and Shanklin. Zach FACIONI trying to get into the top 3 as well. He's right there along with Notre Dame's Dylan Jacobs.
Push up. Find your team, man.
On a chilly Friday morning, it is Peter Seufer's world, and we are all just living in it. Out of Virginia Tech, running on his home course here in Blacksburg, Seufer has opened up his lead even more, and it all looks like a guarantee at this point for a repeat championship for the man out of Virginia Tech, the senior from Lynchburg, Virginia. NUGUSE. That finish is going to be interesting. For Peter Seufer. No one in front. The finish line ahead. And Peter Seufer is your back-to-back ACC Men's Cross Country Champion. Great race for second coming up here between NUGUSE and Shanklin. Shanklin looking to kick NUGUSE, trying to hold him off. Here comes Shanklin at the very end. NUGUSE still in the lead. And NUGUSE will cross. Yared NUGUSE is your number 2 finisher. Third place goes to NC State's Ian Shanklin. Now the rest of the pack crossing, and this is very important, though, when you talk about a team championship. 2 Syracuse finishers there who are very much in contention. Notre Dame was there as well as Virginia Tech. A lot of Syracuse towards the end. That might be enough to give them a potential ACC championship as well. Seufer your winner. And it wasn't even close. The unofficial top 6, Seufer, NUGUSE, Shanklin, FACIONI, Jacobs, and GAYNOR. 2 from Notre Dame, 2 from NC State. All right, we are down here with Peter Seufer. And Peter, what was it like to race in these types of conditions? Of course, you know, this is not ideal, but you were able to do it so well.
Yeah, definitely not ideal, but I mean, we train out here every single day. I've been in probably worse conditions, actually. And I mean, you do it so many times, especially this year. We probably ran the course front and back at least 4 times a week. So you just get so used to it. You know exactly what footings, like here and there, like where the water's going to be, where the worst spots are, and just know how to attack it.
Huge advantage for you, wasn't it, to be here on your home course?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I originally, not the biggest fan of our course, but yeah, having that was definitely a huge advantage this year, especially given the conditions. And having this strong fan base and all your teammates, it looked like the entire track team was out here to support us today, so that was great.
Well, you talk about not being a big fan of your home course, but you are today a repeat ACC cross-country champion. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it just shows all the hard work put in and dedication. Like, I mean, you fight for it every day. I was definitely a little nervous coming in, especially going into the season. It was a slower start, some ups and downs, but team really rallied today, and we really wanted to get after it, especially being at home. I mean, you just don't want anything, but I don't think we've lost. This might have been the first loss we've had here in Blacksburg since 2010. But, I mean, we went for it, and team fought. Couldn't be more proud of them.
Take me through your mindset throughout this course. You got out to the lead, it increased and increased, and by the end it was pretty much academic.
Yeah, so I think I did a similar thing last year where I just took it out hot, wanted to separate myself and just kind of see how it goes 1K at a time. And I think I looked back at one point, maybe 2K in, and I think we were going up the cemetery hill over here, and it's like, wow, then like nobody's closing the gap. And I really, because I mean last year they closed it and then we kind of ran together for next 5K, but I think that gave me a little boost, and just maybe at one point it took something out of them, just having the sloppy conditions. We were still rolling with it, so I guess it worked out.
Peter, congratulations. That was a great race.
Hey, thank you.
All right, Peter Seufer, your champion, back-to-back champion here in the ACC men's cross-country race. Well, the women are coming up, and we will have them at the top.